Joder, me confundí. A ver, hombre. Vale. Por favor, como siempre que puede que estoy hablando en español, como que a veces fluyo, ¿no? Y a veces no, a veces hablo polaco. Entonces, saber exactamente el idioma que hablo. Puta de YouTube. Nada, Está diseño de usuario, UX, de pollas. Joder, déjame unos valores razonables por defecto, coño. Siempre uso español, ¿por qué cojones tengo que escogerlo cada vez que hago un directo? No, yo no lo entiendo. ¿Qué asco? En fin. A ver, vamos a abrirlo de Xbox, ir directamente a pilas. Pilares of Eternity. Dos. Bueno, pues eso, estamos en el final, bueno, abordando el final. En el final Uri. Vale, vamos a ver. Bueno, como estoy viendo, no funciona la alerta. Bueno, igual pata. Eso. De los bots, puta sería uno. Continuamos. Continuamos. Pues mira, sí que funciona. Acaba de salir ahora la notificación en Discord. Dejó de funcionar la del Streamlabs Chatbot. Porque lleva ya varios días. Creo que no funciona. ¡Ah! No hay retorno. No a la llama extinguida que has sentido. Vamos a avanzar, señores. Además. ¿Qué pasa, Dani? ¿Qué tal, gozo? Haga la batalla, vamos a ver. cago en la puta. Por venir a chulear. Que la semana ya pesa, tío. Pero venga, que solo queda el viernes, joder. Me cago en la mar. Pero no podemos abordar, tío, directamente. Siempre. Ahora. Me cagué. Me cagué. Ah, sí, me deja. Ay, no me deja. Bueno, puedo avanzar. A ver. Vale. Ah, se puede. Ah, mira, sí que se puede. Puta madre. Pues voy en sitio, tío, ahí encima de la cubierta. Y venga. Pimba, hostia, para arriba. Pimba. Ya me di cuenta. No sabía, nunca lo había usado. No lo había usado. Yo ahora por mirar a ver qué hacía. Porque me resultaba un poco curioso. Es que eso me parece la mugre. La mugre. Todo ese combate naval en texto me parece una mierda. Yo no sé cómo funciona, ni lo sé, ni me interesa. Un asco, tío. Haber hecho ahí un rollo como en el Pirates, joder, aunque fuera un poco rudimentario ahí de allá, a favor del viento, en contra del viento, pero que manejase salvar, coño. Si quieres también con pausa para mover a los... para hacerlo más pasar de caro. Lo que comentaba ayer con Yuki, tío, que es que faltan muchas cosas. Juego, molaría que lo cogiese una empresa ahí con pasta para meterlo el dinero que se merece. Se ve ahí mucho potencial, tío, pero cosas que no están hechas, porque claro, obviamente cuesta dinero desarrollarlo. Es complicadísimo, tío. Muy complicado. Yo no fui capaz. Son genéricos estos, ¿no? Bueno. ¡Ay, babina! A ver. Me he echado ahí para empezar, a ver. Vamos a ver. Ahí. Mira, bajan los tostados. ¡Hala! Dos morillos, tío. Están jodidos, pero ya vacila me vi. Me cago en la mano. Me voy a tirar otro más. O este, tío. Es lo que va a durar. Pues, vale, que todavía está ahí. Este cabrón. Están fuertecitos, están fuertecitos. Bueno. Nada. Después de venir a enfrentarme ayer al señor ese, al oráculo de Wild este, la madre que lo parió, que te costó un cojón y medio. Van a venir los mongolos a vacilar. Por mucho que vengan 16 barcos, pues 16 pollas se van a coger. Por el dos puntas, cada uno por ahí. Claro, mira. ¡Uah! Venga, me la voy a compartir el dinero, soy buena gente. ¡Ay! Tenía eso lo que tenía que haber hecho antes de ir al final. A ir a vender toda la mugre que tengo. Para que me dé cuenta, para ver. A ver todo el dinero que me llevo ahí de Diógenes digital para la tumba. Pudiendo haberlo gastado en prospectar mejores barcos. Corsarios no. Corsarios no. Ay. El azote de aves. Es parecido al mío. Retirarte. Abordamos. Abordamos. Claro que abordamos. Vamos a abordar. Bueno, estos señores son un calibre curioso. Mira, exacto donde yo quería. Vale. Tiempo de tirar el otro. Ya. Me quedan bastante. Me quedan más tranquila. ¿Qué pasa? ¿Lo tiro o no lo tiro? No lo tiró, de cancelar no. Eso va a ver. ¿Lo lanzó? No sé. Si hago así. Ah, sí, si lo lanzo es... Ah, pensaba que morirían más de golpe. Se ve que no. Merendaron bien estos chavales. Así me gusta. Pero bueno, tampoco es que lo puedan resistir todo, ¿verdad? Como por ejemplo esta maravilla de tormenta de fuego. Solamente en estos establecimientos. Pero que no lanza, porque es subnormal. Pero bueno, no pasa nada, ¿no? Bueno, nada. La vida. Me ha tirado el... Vale. Para que sepa lo que lleva la vida. Hola. Madre mía, estamos atrapados. Pone que éramos aliados, pero como les dije que no, ahora se ponen chulos. Bueno, hay que matarlos. No pasa nada. Pero era mi barco el que había quedado atrapado entre los dos. Bueno, no sé. Cuando leí bien el testarrado. Bueno, nada, vamos allá. Ah, vale, porque son unos aliados. Y otros le... Creo, aquí hay amigos. Vale. Para que la hostia. No bajar. Bueno, vamos a... Chavales. Bajo. Tan sanos. Espérate. Aquí ya veo yo gente que quiere morir. ¿Por qué no? ¿Y por qué no? Solo 3. Ah, creo que ahora es. No es con... Ay, alegría. Bien enrollado el... Uy, uy, espérate, espérate. Cambio. Cambio solo a estos pues putas que vienen aquí. Cambio. Qué bien, que no hizo nada. Bueno, pues nada, no pasa nada. Hay que crear aquí esto vino o canal. Oh, puedo tirar. Uy, uy, uy. No me gusta esto. ¿Dónde está esto? Asísteme, por favor. Para joder. Está mirando. Matan. Vale. ¿Y este qué cojones hace ahí, tío? Si lo mandé para el otro lado. Madre mía, con la innovación que hacen los subnormales. ¿Qué coño les manda innovar acciones? Manda. Mugrio. Fantasma. Menos mal que este, o menos, no vayas por a repartir ya. Barraca esta, vamos a despertar al... Oh. Squad. Allá te va. No podía resucitar a más gente. Vamos a probar. Si todos son desrapados sociales que no merecen la pena ni mirar. Uy, parece a mí que no, Por mucho aliado que sea. Vale. Se descojona, No nos escojona. Oh, carajo, ayuda. Tú. Sí. Tamapencos. Tiene su fuerza, Orío. ¿Vas o qué? Oh. Yeah. No tengo para beber, déjame ir a por agua. Ay. Y me dio un poco fame, que mejor que unos doritos aquí sanísimos. Para acabar el juego este. Sí, bueno, para acabar no, para enfilar el fin. Que digo para acabar, igual ahora son 10 horas de misión, no sé. Pero bueno, no digo nada. Meca, 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 meca. Idiota inútil ha subido el rango. Uf, no me mola mucho estos diseños de monstruos. Parecen Pokémon, tío. Los constructos así raros, rollo Transformer de los dinosaurios, tío. Buenas, Mitsuki, ¿qué tal, bonica? ¿Cómo estás?
Whoa, that's where would you even stab something like that?
I'm not too proud to admit when I'm scared. Terrified, actually.
Aye, sure, that. Whatever that be, why not?
So alone. Never alone. Hacia Ukaizo reached. Here. We have been here. We're the gates of Ukaizo. We guard the silence of Ukaizo. You are a disturbance. Erthas has disturbed the bones of Ukaizo. The old pacts permit him to pass.
Vaya hambre. Pasó el malo de nosotros
no
no.
further. Ukaizo is closed. The gates are barred. Our covenant with the old ones does not forbid questions. The living were meant to forget Ukaizo. Nothing can be gained of remembering it. a challenge would be a welcome distraction. Take your reprieve, doomed one. The chosen people of the Deadfire called Ukaizo home. The outsiders were their contemporaries, full of wisdom, ingenuity, and terrifying ambition.
That sure sounds like the Ingwithans. Guess they got around.
The outsiders passed from the world. None of them remain.
Not all of them passed. But we got the one they left behind.
The old ones and the outsiders traded, collaborated, learned, and built together. Outsiders augured the doom of the old ones. The rift unmade them both. The outsiders coveted ancient Ukaizo. Its occupation was a hindrance. Machines were built on a foundation of outsider lies. When the machines were nearly done, the outsiders constructed bodies of flesh and bone. Skeletons now, their remains littering great Ukaizo. Ones which drew the spirits of the dead through a sieve. Finally, the outsiders fashioned a guardian to stand vigil over their work. Our bond with the old ones compelled us to trust their allies. They offered us a trade, eternal life for eternal service. We were ordered to slam shut the gates of Ukaizo for all time. The outsiders vanished from the world, leaving the old ones dumbfounded. Quiet gave way to chaos. Storms battered the seas. The sleeping hearts of mountains awoke with fury. When the last screams of the old ones faded, only we remained. None but the green colossus whose every footstep disturbs tranquility. You are the first kith to visit the shores of Lost Ukaizo. By now, you are rested, and there is little more to tell. May your journey through the wheel be an informed one. You chose death when you set your...
Didn't work.
Que se peguen muy gato. Y yo puse, sí, puse aquí a mis chiques. Cortiva. Voy a tirársela al dragón, no los mamones. Que es por ahora por ahí. Bueno, este ha sido facilillo, por lo que puedo ver.
Didn't work.
Bueno, ya tuve que venirme aquí a joderme la frase, ¿viste? Así que era más fácil, a ver.
Didn't work.
This thing isn't doing the job.
Me cago en la hostia que me lo curan, tú.
Another tack, Cap.
Hey, whose side are you on? No prisoner. Hey, whose side are you on?
didn't work.
Joder, me cago en la mar. ¿Qué cojones el agua? Tenía sed, fui a por agua. Dejé la jarra allí, vi los doritos, cogí los doritos, dejé la jarra ahí cargada. Y me vine para aquí con mis doritos. Ya, después de haber comido unos cuantos, digo, ay, voy a echar un traguín de agua. ¿Dónde coño agua? Así fue el curso de los acontecimientos. En fin, digamos. Voy a hacer como... Joder, qué mierda de... Ya está este hombre. Vale, aquí en el medio. Vaya hostia. Que recibe el prove. Vale, ahora está metiendo el condón. Y ahora con la tía esta nada, pero con este con otra cara. El yala. Oh, ¿qué es esto? Resaca. Joder. Golpe de pobre, viejo. Parece que sí. Parece. No, espera, te voy a hacer otra cosa mejor. Voy a matar a este hijo puta. Voy a poner. Ay. Montón para este, a ver si me da tiempo. No sé yo. ¿Y esto de cojones? No sé por qué no va por él. No se lo mete en el montón. Estos ya están aquí a pico. El dragón va cogiendo, su esencia original, Ah, no, era la sombra. Era un empujo. Vaya cosa más rara pasó ahí. Ah, ya sé lo que pasa. Una de esas desapariciones que hay de... Que a veces pienso que la gente murió y resulta que no. Que se quedó en pausa el juego en un fotograma que no hay dicho. El bicho está ahí. Dispara. No tiene más montones ya. Solo queda curarse. Ir la moría. Muy listo. Está. Ya había una poción. Vaya, joder. Ya la cagué. Ya la cagué porque es un normal. Sin mover. ¡Qué mala pata, hombre! ¿Qué vida tienes? Voy a bajar un poco las defensas. Vale. Tirurín, tirurín. ¡Hala! ¡No me jodas! ¿Por qué pierden el...? Ah, no. Vale. Bueno, hombre, tócame los huevos, hombre. Veo. Está bien grande, Oye. A ver. Vale. Estamos viendo el hielo ese desatamos. Vale. A ver si ahora aquí va. Cantidad. Sierpes del desierto. Bueno, a dar como un... Con armadura. No viene mal. ¿Dónde va este? ¿Dónde va este? Mira. Sin vida y mira dónde va. No personaje. Con este pavo nada más. Pero ¿qué hace, tío? ¿Ves? Esos son bugs, De repente, no sé por qué, le da el siroco. No sé por qué es. Tiene hasta la coronilla. Me lo cogió con la boca, tú. Hijo. ¿Esto qué pone? ¿Muevo o qué? Vale. Vamos a marearlo un poco. Tenemos aquí el poderío, nosotros, no es nosotros. Ahora ya no puedo hacer nada más, ¿no? Bueno, el veneno este, a ver, ponerme el veneno, a ver qué pasa. Movete, movete. Bueno, tanto igual, no pasa. Pasan las mejores familias. Voy a coger aquí. Piri, 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 piri. Poquísimo. Pues, 6-7, mira, esa hostia me ha gustado. Así que a partir de ahora es todo hostia. Vale, bien, bien, bien. Las hostias son. Vale. Voy a intentar. Nada, con este nada, pegaros. Vale. Take that, hombre. Uf, que va por ti, bajo. Huye. Huye. Latino, pero no pasa. Venga, dale. Dale unas buenas hostias. Pero con el muerto, joder, es que. Vaya tongo, tío, que me acabas de pegar. Ya verás tú. Joder, puta. Lisiado, ¿cómo lisiado? Ah, lisiado será este. Lisiado, ¿no? No. Extensión.
This thing isn't doing the job.
Este no tiene tampoco para curarse ni para nada. Pues nada. Buena, buena. Vamos bien, chatos. Yo con este... cúrame ya, esperar un poco. Vamos ya bajo vídeo. Bien, no es buena suerte. Cuando falta alguna que estás como... Uf.
Ever wonder what happened to your old pets, Watcher?
Me voy a curar ya, tío. Pero total, ya no tengo nada que perder. Este me lo van a matar en 3, 2, 1. ¡Ole! Sabía yo que se podía curar. No quería usar hasta que fuera estrictamente necesario.
Need something stronger.
Venga, que la tenemos, señores. Toma, puto. Y murió. Ay, no. Sería la hostia, que le diese una hostia y muriese. Bueno, a un pueblín está bien. Parecía que sí, parecía que no, que nunca te decides, pero sí, al final sí. Pues había empezado el combate con una lesión en Aizo.
Why
No se puede
is
tolerar.
your ignorant farmer winking at me?
Venga, y encima descansé con vino de arroz que me dan al menos uno a la destreza, chaval. Ah, soy un chulo de mierda. Allá voy ahí. Ah, destreza, qué cojones que era destreza. Ay. Oh. Ukaizo. No ves, esto va a ser más... Esto no se acaba hoy. Muy cortito tenía que ser cada uno de estos escenarios para acabar. Ya te digo ahora, te digo hoy. O ese después de cenar no me da ni... A ver el mapa.
It's even scarier than in my dreams.
Para la tormenta.
Gilded Vale got its name from the way the wheat fields used to look in the sun. But this place really is gilded. Might as well be a different world. Well, hard to miss what you can barely remember. All I know is my life took a turn when this world came stomping into mine. These great people got a funny way of passing on. They disappear from the world, but leave their problems behind for the rest of us to deal with. And now here we are, with Aethys trying to undo the whole thing. God of Redemption, trying to redeem the gods. What a mess.
We gonna do this or what? We've made it this far, yet we're still alive. Might as well square off with my god before our luck runs dry. Reckon it was. Sure, I did some things I now regret. God knows I got plenty of blood on my hands. Tell me, Watcher, can there be a god of light and birth if souls themselves can no longer be reborn? Sure do. If Gon wants you dead, I figure he can do it himself. Besides, the part of him that's been stomping through the Deadfire didn't much help me at Malgren's teeth. I thought it'd be different how it turned out, but I couldn't dream of any other way. Now then, shall we go face my God for one last time? Find out what it is we can or can't do in these end times. Whether we're meant to wither or thrive. Consider me your second shadow.
I look back, and I ain't but half sure how we got ourselves here, Cap. It'd be right good to have you on our side. Hope you know, they're not the normal piratical fool behind you, where we sail away the moment your back be turned neither. Trying to seduce me, Cap. Somebody had to be keeping your spectre-speaking ass alive. Onwards then, Cap. To the bitter end and beyond.
If I didn't know you better, Watcher, I might be wondering if you had a death wish right about now.
Al final el prostituto este era un chaval bastante, se ríe, pega unas hostias. No. Una pena que no haya sacado el prostíbulo antes y que no lo haya metido tal vez en mi parte. Lo tuve en el barco, vamos, cuando banquillo, bastante rápido.
Doesn't seem real, this Ukaizo. Keep half expecting to wake up sweating in my bed at the med, regretting one beer too many. People like me don't often get to stand side by side with history and help it get made. Nah, regular folk, history's what happens to us. It's a privilege, even if I'm just watching over your shoulder.
Hay que guardar para no poner las chapas. Hay los guardados de para que no te maten y los guardados de no aguantar. Joder. Bueno, de momento está siendo bastante cortito, ¿eh? Pensaba que serían localizaciones más tochas, joder. Pero un puto puente, una conversación y esto... No sé. El hard.
The machine controlling the storm winds down. The clattering of its machinery settles into a low whir and then, at last, hiccups to a halt. Beyond the tower, the black, roiling clouds of Andra's mortar roll away from the ancient city of Ukaizo, with only a tired sigh of wind to see them off. And on that last breath of wind, comes to you a familiar sound. The bell's ringing is soft, not the clangor and torrent you've grown used to. It calls to your soul, and your soul yearns to follow it.
Watcher, your journey nears its conclusion.
The pallid night stands before you, her gaunt face impassive.
That will depend on the will of Kith, whose desires are ever in flux. Soon you will confront Aethys for what will likely be the final time, and you will do so as the Herald of Barath, the only creature on the face of Aora to...
The pallid night inclines her head to you, black hair hanging lank in her face. She steps back and cedes the floor to Helia with a small, resigned sigh.
If Aethys truly intends to go through with his mad plan to destroy the wheel, Generations worth of souls will be trapped in the in-between. So many would suffer. How can Aethys be so cruel? He cannot just abandon them. Aethys must help the Kith find a quick solution.
Abaddon strides forward.
Aethys thrust this crisis on the Kith. They did not bring it upon themselves. Their only mistake was entrusting us to watch over them. Who will help them rebuild their world now?
Aethys will reveal every secret of the gods. Will Kith be able to change the established order if they have no wonder to inspire them? Aethys must help them resolve this quickly, lest every one of Aeora's few remaining mysteries be laid plain.
You have misgivings. Good. You should be wary of any help Aethys might offer you. With the wheel destroyed, Kith will tear themselves apart. It is the gods' duty to prevent that happening, lest they doom us all. And as Kith must be ruled, so too must the gods. I say that if Aethys is so eager to throw down the mantle of power and step aside, I shall take my rightful place as Queen of the Gods again.
Kith are strongest when they follow our lead, and we are strongest when we lead in turn. United in purpose with the gods, Kith can accomplish things that without us, they could never have even begun. They must be shown their boundaries to surpass them.
Kith will not solve Aethys' puzzle on their own. And without an established order to fight against, the bonds that bind them dissolve, and they fight amongst themselves.
Boudica's firm hand is but the motherly smothering of Helia by another name. Mortals should have no special advantages. Only once Kith have striven to improve themselves through trial will they truly know their measure. Kith must suffer to find their strength if they are to survive the world into which Aethys drags them.
O sea, al revés. Yo le tengo un poco de esquizofrenia. Pero él fue primero.
Our intervention in your struggle would be a cruelty
and counter to our
purpose.
He lets his words hang in the air for a moment. Gaze, level with your own.
Indeed. Kith must discover for themselves what it is they are worth, and of what it is they are capable. What we do for them, they do not learn for themselves. Trial breeds ingenuity. If our work of generations was not in vain, Kith will succeed in spite of Aethys' actions. I have faith in Kith's ability to meet Aethys' challenge. Do not mistake my words for indifference, Watcher. They are born from a fierce belief in your potential, not a refutation of it.
And yet you come to Ukaizo with only the Principe at your back. All that Kith stand to lose, and even then your leaders could not join hands, squabbling instead over prestige and resources. You believe that will change when my final death comes calling? You are a greater fool than I thought.
Mira, eso que están diciendo ahí, puedo decir ahí, exactamente por lo mismo que no puede haber un gobierno del mundo. Y somos amigos, la ONU y la puta que nos falta.
Margaret is blinded by her affection for mortals. She does not see that entropy is the destiny of all things. If Aethys were wise, he would destroy everything. End life, end reincarnation, end death. Kith have had their chance. It is time to let silence reign.
As Rimmergon's words fade, the Pallid Night returns. She no longer towers over you, a giant even among the gods, but meets you at your height. She lets the arms crossed over her chest fall to her sides.
Well, Watcher, you know where we stand. What do you believe? I only suggest that you walk into this future with eyes wide, Watcher. The mantle of responsibility is a heavy one, broad though Kith's shoulders may be. Now the time has come for us to part, Watcher. I laid upon you a difficult duty, and I know you desire to be free of it. You will be in time, but not now. You have work to do yet. You are no stranger to hard choices. You killed Theos, and when his soul was laid bare before you, you chose to banish it to Braith Aemon. You gave him the justice you believed he deserved. Remember the strength it took to make that choice, and know that you alone may sway Aethys now. When you stand before him, choose your words carefully.
The gods depart one by one in brooding silence. A solitary figure remains perfectly still until the last of her colleagues is out of earshot. Woedica peers down at you, a triumphant grin splitting her weathered features.
Bareth is a fool if she thinks I'll let her enjoy the last word. You were trusted with a heavy responsibility, Watcher. Speaking for mortals, and representing their interests in the future to come. You've reminded me why I never depend on the judgment of others. Never did I imagine the Deadfire, Ukaizo, and our greatest achievements falling into the hands of pirates. And then there's Captain Eldis. Bold, decisive, and unforgiving. A woman after my heart. If more Kith shared her discipline, then the Principe would be entitled to their destiny. This is a stinging indictment of the trading companies in the Hawana, who couldn't even protect the Deadfire's most valued asset from a fleet of drunken simpletons. And yet, they have earned your confidence in a gamble that could decide the fate of all mortals. Why is that? Consider my curiosity appeased. For now, in our grandest plans, you are a singularly unpredictable variable. You play a dangerous game by investing your hope in others. Deception and failure are woven into the fabric of mortals. I can safely promise that they will disappoint you before long. I look forward to watching the bright cheer fade from your eyes under cold, unforgiving reality. Whether you heeded my wisdom or not, everything you've done to get this far has informed our view of mortal kind. I hope you're satisfied with your performance. We've learned much from each other. Was casting your lot with an undisciplined mob of pirates supposed to change my mind? Don't answer that question. Nothing could convince me that mortals are equipped to steward their future. Your efforts to prove me wrong were admirable, and my detractors will likely use your example to oppose my rule. A difficult road lies ahead of me. Your alliances have made proving my argument an uphill battle. Well done, I suppose. will no doubt have a sunnier outlook on mortals and their chances of success. He already has everything he wants, so go and listen to his empty-headed idealism. The rest of us will be sharpening our blades, preparing for the future he lays out for us.
Next time, I will secure a body that lasts.
You keep falling asleep on me, I'm gonna have to start walking behind you with a pillow. Oh, by the way, the storm's gone. Also, I think Aethys has ended the world.
Gods and darnation. My head.
In here with me thinking we were right and proper dead this time. We ain't dead, right?
Un ratito ahí, vamos. Hay que volver, creo.
What you people from lush, bright lands fail to grasp is that Rawatai isn't a storm-tossed. Ukaizo belongs to us. We've earned it with blood and sweat, and no one shall take it from us now. Not while I'm around. Rawataians, defend Ukaizo!
Los rabatanos estos, rabayatayos, no sé. Bueno, como... Joder, huevo.
Bring him down. That was about as useful as a bump on a pickle.
As one.
No oigo golpes, tío, se quedó bugueado.
As one.
Vamos, Cliva.
As one.
It's nothing.
Hogwash.
Just a little blood.
Death take you.
them all!
Brith Uligna.
Oh, mother.
Brith Uligna.
Seer mas meat.
Todo para curar. Solo para curar. Prueba. De prueba, como que. ¿Y este dónde cojones se curó? ¿En ningún lado? Yo estoy aquí a avasallar. Pues puta. Tío, al oír a la gente quejarse. Estamos.
Mind if we stop? Me too, man.
Right on target.
¿Murió ya?
What's that? No
No, ya. Ya más duro. Ya lo mataron. Buah. Violation.
Forth to battle.
Otra vez. Voy a intentar. Es que vaya violación. Vaya violation. Este deberíamos. Ahí está. Unas preciosidades.
Moeth Ixie Oneth.
Now you be right shut. Blast.
Joder, Dani, ya que me vinieron aquí a pegar a mí por quitar esa tierra esta. Y esa tierra ya es mía. Y digo yo, ¿quién va a vivir? Jodido. Está claramente, esta la hizo mi familia, claramente. Mira, todos los arcos que utilizan.
See you. It's me too, man.
Death take you!
Estoy doble jodido porque no tengo curación con el señor Eder.
Moeth.
That's
Honest.
I'll have your eyes for that one.
Too, man.
Bring them down! We're losing folks!
was about as useful as a bump on a pickle.
Ojo, ojo, a la jugada maestra. ¡Pipa, pupa! Todos muertos. ¡Ay, no, que queda uno aquí! La puta madre. Hijo puta, se me escondió ahí, de día. Se escondió de día delante de mi puta cara. Pero, ¿qué brujería es esto? ¡Venga, otro! ¿Pero esto qué es? No he visto nada, tío. ¿Pero esto qué pollas fue? ¿Pero qué clase de efectos aquí? Ya me parecía a mí que había sido demasiada hostia. No sé dónde salió. El bug este... para joderme a mí. Madre que los parió ya. Espera, voy a poner el dicotómico este, que el dicotómico reparte. Otra cosa no. Pero repartir, reparte. Ahí está. Por favor, resiste. A meterte en un condón. Uf, ¿a cuál método? Uf. Primero a uno, luego al otro. ¡Ay, no tengo más! Joder. La puta madre. Ahí estamos. Ah, bueno, pero con esta lo que puedo hacer y pegar patadas. Patadas sí que puedo pegar. Es cosa que... Toma, hostia, y patada para uno. Ole, 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 ole. Ahora sí, ahora sí. Ahora sí. Ahora sí. Ahora sí. Ahora sí que se van a cagar, ¿no? ¿Sí? ¿Qué crees? ¿Que me hiciste daño? Pues mira, te saco otros dicotómicos. Uy, uy. Toma, toma, pero qué hostias pega el espíritu dicotómico. Pero qué hostias pega, mira, todos con 3 heridas. Todas con 3 lesiones. Menos la sacerdotisa y el hombre perro. Rom. Voy a descansar y voy a quitar la mierda esta del... Dos a fuerza. Más 4 a la fuerza. Toma. Para ti y para ti. Oye. Y a los dos estos del vino. Borrachines. No me descarga. Que tarde el pelo.
Why are you carrying so many eggs?
Ven a atacar de
Surely they
nuevo.
will spoil.
Sí. Wow. Creo que está. Primorio del cambio climático. Del pago climático. Corderos. Aquí que pone. Voy, wea. Aquí. No. Vamos para ir. ¡No, guay! Ahora sí, vale. Voy, wea. Lo que era lo que decía este. ¿Te acordáis? Las imitaciones de Julio Iglesias en martes y 13. Wea. Ay.
You descend into the ancient winding streets of Ukaizo. Battered by storms for thousands of years, the ruins bear the marks of their role as the lone witnesses of the gods' great secret at the center of the city. The houses and boulevards are pierced by great spears of luminous Audra. There are no ashen bodies, no birds, no sign or sound.
Hasta aquí a hostias por la
But with
toda la
every
ciudad.
step, the rhythmic pounding in the distance draws nearer. Soon, you can feel the vibration traveling up your spine. As you approach the center of the city, the weathered architecture gives way to more luminous Audra, piercing the ruins, eventually overtaking them entirely. Cresting the top of a fallen tower, you finally get a clear view of Aethys. He stands, legs astride, next to a great stone monument ringed with 11 cavernous alcoves. All but 3 hold a gargantuan skeleton, bones scrubbed clean by the city's storms. An immense Anguithan machine floats above the monument, suspended by invisible energy emanating from a well of light beneath it. Great brass rings spin around a core of metal and Audra at the machine's center. Periodically, Aethys's massive arms swing back. The movement alone is enough to draw great gusts of wind toward him. When they come down on the machine, the impacts are accompanied by eruptions of electricity, fire, and smoke. The hundreds of luminous Audra pillars across Ukaizo sympathetically dim in a rippling wave that spreads out from the machine. The only safe route to the god is a steep ascent along a monstrous pillar of luminous Audra. Intertwined with fragments of Ukaizo's ruins that it has carried through the centuries, the pillar bends in a long arc, towering above the machine. The pillar levels out near Aethys's head, a silent observer to the destruction of the machine it has grown beside over thousands of years. You weave your way along a treacherous rain-slicked path up the pillar's skyward side. As you arrive at the top, you catch Aethys's attention. Fist pulled back, he pauses to observe you. With the same gentleness he showed at Ashen Maw, he lowered.
Strange to see Ukaizo in this way. It may be hard to picture, but this city was once full of life. The Huana, yes, but also kith from many other cultures. Great hanging trees shadowed these boulevards. Gardens sprawled across the open rooftops. Each spring, a festival procession would wind its way from the hillside into this valley.
Perdón,
The celebrants would pass through a steep walk among the stalls of foreign merchants, flowers falling upon them from all sides. All people of all nations, together in a celebration of new life.
Esa cosa me suena a Jerusalén, ¿oíste?
Been a while, old friend. Widewin, I did not think to see you here. But few things go as expected when the Watcher is involved. We were a good team. Once. But this isn't what we fought for. Ain't you just burning the harvest because you planted the wrong seeds?
An astute observation, old friend. Consider instead that I am giving the soil back to those who till it. Spring must always follow winter. As long as there are people committed to finding the other side of change, the agony will not last. But thank you for challenging me as you did in fairer times. I haven't forgotten the lesson we strove to impart. You're welcome, I suppose.
This isn't right. You can't put this burden on us. You can't make the gods' problems, our responsibility to fix. How can you have faith that what you're doing is good? You know how many people are going to suffer because of this. No matter how you spin this, you can't set it straight.
Adair, I wish I could explain it to you. It breaks my heart that I cannot. But no matter how much you curse me, do not despair. The souls of this world will need people like you. Lights burning brightly in the darkness to come.
Gone, please, I'm begging you. What do I do following this? How am I to best serve those still living? To improve our future chances of survival?
The Deadfire and the Eastern Reach are full of animancers. Women and men with brilliant minds who can solve this great problem. They will also need people with brilliant souls, like you, Shodi. People who can tend to the spiritual needs of the world in a time of fear and desperation. Remember, the flame you bear is not only light, but warmth. Provide comfort to all who need it.
I ain't never chatted up a god before. Feel like I should be asking something profound and philosophical. And yet, thing I'd be wanting to know, what be stopping the other gods from coming down and just setting this shit back straight? And then you breaking it again. This be our new tides then, all up and down, over and over, till the sea drowns us all?
A wise question, Seraphim. Have no doubt, some of the gods are already trying to figure out a way to fix this on their own. It is not beyond their capabilities. After all, we made these machines with the Huana many years ago. But it is not something they can do easily. Not without mortal assistance. It will be for mortals to decide if they should receive it. But what of you, Watcher? Why have you followed me? Have you come to bear witness to the breaking of the wheel? And you believe I should give my strength to one of them? I am certain Woodica has convinced you of this. Why do you believe I should give this power, which we have used so irresponsibly for so long, to any of them? It is true. We created ourselves as equals, even if Woodica did create a story about her past to elevate her own glory. You have convinced me, Watcher. The gods do need a strong leader. I will ensure they have one after I am gone. Indulge me in a moment's curiosity. There is something I wish to know about Eora, about Kith, that I can only learn through your eyes. You followed me all this way, dodging an armada, navigating an impenetrable wall of storms.
voyaging across uncharted seas, besting a guardian who existed to bar your trespass, with the machinations of gods echoing in your ears, all the while trusting in the institutions of Kith to get you this far, and earning their trust in turn. Whatever else happens this day, that much is remarkable. I believe that mortals possess the strength to collaborate and shape a future of their own design. Not all of my brothers and sisters agree. By relying on others and coming together in a time of crisis, you illustrate my point. The gods will witness you and question their assumptions about how responsible, empathetic, and sophisticated mortals can be. What inspired your decision, Watcher? Did the choice echo your foundational beliefs? Or were you influenced by observation? I thank you for your perspective. Yours is not the only opinion that concerns me, but for the moment, it offers much to consider. All I ever wanted for mortals was growth, transformation. Once, my brothers and sisters shared this goal. Some have forgotten themselves, giving into fatalism or tyranny. Others have succumbed to apathy. It brings me great sorrow that crisis is the only way to set the future in motion. Would that I could pass the responsibility of heralding your darkest hour to another. Never forget that trust and coordination between mortals brought you to this place. Your future is built on a foundation of hope, and you have laid the first stone. I must attend to my final... You have carried a heavy burden across the Deadfire, Watcher. Before I go, I would rid you of it. You are free now, as free as any of us can be. Many will come to you for help in the years ahead. Animancers, priests, even the gods themselves. I have great hope for you, but always remember that your future is for you to decide. Use your freedom well.
Aethys squares himself to the machine. As you move to a safe distance, he draws his fist back and resumes his assault. You perceive the presence of another colossal gathering of soul essence nearby, and recall the agreement you reached with. He returns to his task, each strike bringing with it the sound of cracking stone and twisting metal, the flickering of luminous Adra across Ukaizo. As the ancient machine finally begins to succumb to his strength, cracks appear along the hands, then race up the arms. Aethys does not slow his assault, but continues unabated. Its brass rings twisted. The machine spins erratically but withstands the relentless barrage. You see Aethys' arm shatter upward from his hand through his elbow. A flash of light and heat bursts from the core, accompanied by a cacophony of destruction. The moment passes as Aethys' shout. As Aethys' voice fades, the enormity of what you've accomplished sinks in. You have confronted a god. You have rediscovered the ancient city where the wheel was forged, and you have seen the wheel. Aethys channels his essence into Bareth, empowering the god of doors, cycles, and life and death beyond all other gods. Bareth vows to maintain peace and order in the here and the beyond, while Kith labor toward a solution. The other gods, for the time being, submit. Under Bareth's guidance, the world becomes a more predictable, stable place. Seasons fall into a disturbingly regular rhythm, and wars, famines, and natural disasters dwindle. Great minds around the world work methodically towards salvation, both unhindered and uninspired by changes, upheavals, and the unexpected. After the battle, Aldi sends her fleet from Ukaizo. Her first and last act as Lady of the Ancient City is to reactivate the storms from Andra's Spire. Her work done, she departs in the floating hangman. She determines that none shall control the power of Ukaizo. Under her, the Principe shall remain a lawless, rootless pirate band. As the rise in piracy makes operations in Deadfire ever more costly, the Consuelo Mea Compressa votes to scale back the Valian Trading Company's presence. The Royal Deadfire Company makes a final attempt to seize Ukaizo using an innovation of its own. A ship that's after an embarrassing defeat, the Royal Deadfire Company consolidates its forces in the archipelago and limits its ambitions to a handful of well-guarded plantations. The storms of Rawatai rage on, and its people muddle through with the same tenacity that has served them for millennia. Demoralized by the loss of Ukaizo, the Huana tribes fragment further. All of Queen Onikaza's work to unify her people falls apart, and foreign traders openly flout the decrees of the Kahanga crown. Port Mage remains stable despite the changes at work in Deadfire. Governor Clario and Storm Speaker Ikawa work together to shore up their defenses against the Principe and to petition the Valian Trading Company for additional funding. Thanks to their joint efforts, Port Mage becomes a bastion of security and prosperity in the southern archipelago. As the balance of power changes in Deadfire, so too does Nekataka transform. Pirates, smugglers, and other criminals flow into the city, openly flouting its laws. The pirates continue smuggling food into the gullet, and the Raparu embrace their benefactors, aiding and concealing their smuggling operations. Over time, the gullet becomes a hotbed of piracy, with Skiarilifus's essence still empowering the Watershapers Guild. The practice of water shaping grows and flourishes in Nekataka, and its practitioners rise in prestige. They install conveyors in the falls that run through the city and craft sculptures for every street and plaza. Thus, the Watershapers Guild becomes a power in its own right in the city of Nekataka.
Vaya.
Your brief encounter with Lethon proves deeply influential for the children of the Dawnstars. Plagued with nightmares and haunted by the deaths at Hesango, Letharn begins questioning his faith in Aethys. At first, the faith of the children of the Dawnstars fades, but their commitment to the people of Deadfire does not. They continue feeding, healing, and helping the neediest, just as they have for decades. It is no longer a holy mission, but it is a mission all the same.
Holy vision, whole of glory vision.
The Adra at Pokakohara is restored, but the rumored Valian Trading Company post never comes to Tikawara. Torn between waiting and seeking better fortunes elsewhere, the tribe gradually scatters and fragments. The dragon, Neraskirlas, no longer passes between Aora and the White Void, and the dead flow slowly breaks apart, exposing the temple long frozen within. Under Halfjorn's guidance, the Harbingers of Dusk resettle within Remergon's temple, vowing to forever protect it from the defiling touch of outs. In besting the Beast of Winter, you earned the Death God's mercy rather than his enmity. The deity remains characteristically unforthcoming about his decision, and you're left to wonder whether in doing battle with him in the White Void, you somehow furthered his apocalyptic ambitions. Word spreads of the primal island of Kazuwari, once home to an arena that hosted bloody competitions and fearsome ordeals. Wild tales whisper that the spilled blood attracted a terrible beast of scale and fang that slaughtered those gathered at the island before destroying the great enchanted statue that oversaw the island's trials. Absent its guiding voice, Kazuwari descends into anarchy. Released from their bondage to the sightless eye, the Vithrak of the Halls Obscured abandon the Black Isle and resettle in the deepest and darkest recesses of the ruins beneath Nekataka. Encouraged by her arcane successes, Bakarna returns to her observatory to continue her studies of the celestial spheres.
Recuperó su
In
grimorio,
time,
su
her colleagues
gente,
in the Circle of Archmagi
su
come to accept her
observatorio.
among their number.
Dios,
She takes on apprentices, and they trumpet her praises as both a brilliant innovator and nurturing pedagogue. Following its intercession at Ukaizo, Wow's Titan vanishes again into the sea. In the years that follow, you occasionally sense an impossibly vast shadow fall upon you while gazing into the in-between. A deeper darkness in that already dark place, seeking a living receptacle for the essence contained within the tomes you unearthed in the halls obscured. Langgrath devotes herself to study of the Godseed. She occasionally contacts you, usually on Dragonback, to solicit your expertise and advice. Her progress with the ancient Anguithan device remains steady, if excruciatingly slow. Though your adventures alter the destiny of Aora and the balance of power in Deadfire, they also leave a lasting mark on those who travel at your side. Adair returns to Hisongo, where he reunites with Byrne, the son of his former lover, Alava. The boy takes heart in Adair's account that Aethys and all the other gods were false, petty, and unworthy of the love of Kith. Realizing how close he came to dying for this cause, Byrne finds renewed purpose in working alongside his uncle to repair the many scars left upon Deadfire by the gods. Under Adair's guidance, Byrne grows into the kind of irreverent, stubborn hothead that would have made his mother proud. And Adair visits her gravesite, often to tell her so. Shodi is not a priestess who understands the meaning of subtlety. As such, she makes her girlish crush on Adair painfully obvious from the moment she first sets eyes on the strapping fighter. Early in your travels, Adair appears discomforted by her persistent flirting. He often grimaces when she sidles up to him, and he takes endless pains to keep their conversations terse and to the point. But after a little smoothing on your part to nudge them in the right direction, Adair makes an effort to view Shodi with an open mind.
Shodi begins teasing the veteran fighter
in a more companionable
¿Crees
and
que
less
será para toda
amorous
la vida?
manner. After saving each other's hides a couple, seemingly lit with an inner glow, Shodi takes to a new life of mission work with gusto. She still is committed to shepherding souls forgone, but having realigned her goals with that of her fellow Dawn Stars, she now endeavors to help the living as much as the dead.
No, porque
As you
no,
travel the Deadfire,
dice casamente no, porque
you find her
le metió
sleeping
pico
better and laughing
a
more
la
often.
sacerdotisa, ¿viste?
When
A
the
la
time
monja,
comes for
podríamos
her to
decir, ¿eh?
return to her temple in Nekataka, it's with a clear wistfulness and much
Sí,
lip
sí.
biting.
Amigos.
She leaves you with her
No, seguro estaba leyendo,
signet and a
pensaba que
hastily
le había puesto
scrawled
los
note.
tochos, ¿viste? Pero qué
It
va.
reads, a keepsake from a path once walked. Remember me, Watcher, for I will forever dream of you.
Pero como es un Watcher, no le vale con Remember. Observa por la ventana.
Though the two of you no longer travel together, Shodi holds fast to the memory of you in her heart.
Madre mía, si he sido tu novia y... Oye, esto.
Faithful, even in her absence.
Vale.
You receive a missive for every day apart, though they often arrive in a single bundle some weeks or months
Madre mía,
past.
que eres un fuego que arde en su interior. Vamos,
She
en
writes of
cuanto
how
la
she
vea...
misses you, how you are like a fire that burns inside her, how one day surely you will be reunited again. Until then, if Aloth has learned one thing from your adventures, it is that the forces shaping the world are vaster and more complex than he had ever imagined. And they are thus, it is with great relief that he abandons his labors against the Leaden Key. Without Theus at the helm, it will crumble in its own time. The best he can do is stand back and allow it to happen. You let Romaro go, and the former pirate ostensibly set sail for the trade lanes of the Eastern Reach. The Edier Empire, Old Valia, in the Republics. For the remainder of your time together, Seraphin seems, if not exactly happy, at least contented with the outcome of your confrontation with his former mentor at Sayuka. And yet, when the two of you part, Seraphin seems emboldened, invigorated by a new sense of purpose. He buys you a drink, toasts to the Deadfire, says let's see if we can make something worth a shit out of what's left of these Principe swabs, and sets sail the next morning. In the years to follow, after reporting back to her superiors for the Watcher's actions against the Valian Trading Company, Palagina is rewarded with reassignment home to the Valian Republics. She spends the next several years as the head of the household.
Si no te hubieras enfadado, pues hubieras
In this
triunfado.
role, she is often lauded for her courage and time away from the Navy gives Maya Rua some perspective on how Rawatai conducted the Deadfire occupation. No sooner does she return to active duty than she voices her frustrations over some of the more underhand. She looks forward to seeing her brother again. Takehu never intended to grasp at the destiny his coming foretold, but he finds himself doing just that. He sails from island to island as an emissary from the gods to the Huana people. The tribes welcome his message and use it to bridge their traditions across the archipelago. Huana unity has never been stronger. With Ngati's covenant firmly in mind, Takehu feels confident enough to... Your farewell is short and cordial. Nothing further needs to be said, and you wish each other well. Great changes are at work in Deadfire and the world beyond. But the storms of Andra's mortar rage on. As the Watcher of Cadnua and the former Herald of Bareth, you return to your ship and begin the long journey home.
Todo está calmado, hombre. Me voy a la vida. Y aquí salen los créditos. Que ya los había visto cuando me mataron. ¿Cuándo me mataron? ¿Qué sería? Cuando me mató el dios toro. Que le vacilé y me hizo pum. Me mató y creo que salieron los créditos. Y si no fue ahí. A mí me quedó bastante estable. Si no me hubiera liado con los piratas esos, no hubiera quedado tan caótico, ¿verdad? Pero bueno, yo realmente preferiría haber ido solo. Bueno, es lo que hay. ¿Tú qué hiciste? ¿Que llevaste a ojos para allá y le hiciste caso? ¿Cómo? Ah, no, tú dices, vale, sí, con el dios de... Seguro, con el momento de los créditos. Pero tú qué liaste con los dioses, que no hacías caso para ellos. ¿Qué? Ah, dos problemas. Ya estuvo guapo el juego con sus cosillas y además, pero bueno, es que a mí estos juegos me molan mucho, la verdad. A ver ahora qué empiezo. Eozas, por culo. Ya, ¿cómo será? Bueno, más o menos, a ver, si va a ser eso. Ahora mismo podría cargar y bueno, prefiero jugar así y verlo como fuera. Al que me toque y pista. Sí. Está guapo. Yo lo que sí, tío, no haría un, o sea, no haría un 3. Ya un 3, pero que le den por culo ya a los dioses, tío. Que le den por culo con los dioses, que hagan un spin-off o algo de eso. Como... Sí, o es cuando tal. Pasa que tiendo a hacer lo mismo, tío, porque suelo escoger... Hago mal rol. Escoger más o menos porque me... Bah, que veía yo más tan seguro que tal. Pero bueno. Justamente debería de elegir un perfil al empezar a jugar y decir, oh, pues voy a ser malo, voy a ser y no salirme de ese perfil. Pero bueno. Quiero decir... Ah, eso, que fuese un spin-off, tío. Que fuese... Yo qué sé, en otro sitio que no tenga nada que ver con estos. Joder, como, yo qué sé, como lo de Baldur's Gate Icewind Dale y eso. O el Planet Escape Torment, ¿no? Que también era... No sé, tío. Otra cosa distinta. Es que la verdad que estos los días me dio un poco la caca esto, ¿eh? Pero bueno, más. Vale. Se acaba esto ya. A ver si le puedo meter un poco más. 4, venga. Tope ahí. Pero bueno, tendría que mirar a ver. Había comentado ayer a Yuki unos jueguillos que había por ahí. El Wasteland 3. O sea que es que, sinceramente, tengo miedo, tío, de quedarme corto de tiempo. Ah, eso sí. Eso sí, aunque... Ojo, cuidado, Ojo, cuidado, porque si pude cargar aquí la partida guardada, no fue gracias a... O sea, no fue gracias a nadie, solo fue gracias a Steam, vamos, porque no lo tenía en el PC, no me aparecía por ahí, no sé por qué, debí jugarlo antes de formatear la última vez, supongo, digo yo. Y gracias a los ficheros de la nube de Steam pude recuperarlo y desde entonces mi vida fue mucho más feliz. Da la vida eso. Bueno, los backers me dan un poco igual, Muy bien por vaquearlo. Pero es a lo que voy, es que normal, estas... Mira la financiación que lleva, tío. Necesita que las empresas meter dinero, hombre. Algún día puta. Y oye. Claro, se nota, pero la verdad que para esas cosas que por ejemplo los fondos que era una pintura o como esta, dos pinturas que hacen así scroll parallax entre ellas. La verdad es que queda muy bien. Queda muy bien. Talmente parece lo del eso, lo que se veía al fondo, ¿no? No sé, a mí no. Las cuevas y luego que se veía la lava así como por detrás. No sé, eso salió el resultado y seguro que fue más barato que modelarlo todo en 3D. También. Solo vi por eso. Guay. Es la hostia. Mola. Pues nada, chiques, voy a hacer las cosas que tiene que hacer un paisano estos horas que llegue la cena. Así que nada, gracias por pasarse y... Nada, tampoco pena, ¿no? Acabar el juego y tal. Pero bueno, ahora más rol. Seguramente. Vale, unos días empezar otro. Exceptuando que vea yo aquí alguno en el Xbox Game Pass, que me quedan exactamente 20 días para disfrutar del Game 23 para disfrutar del Game Pass. Y tengo partida empezada al Serious Sam 4. Entonces, yo no sé, a ver el leaker si arregló el PC o qué para jugar al Serious Sam 4. Por eso, me daba cosa empezar un Wasteland y luego que me quedan medias la partida o juego. Un jueguito de rol, si fuese alguno de rol. Ah, sí, el Outer Worlds era. Será más cortito. Claro, el Wasteland 3 es larguete, tío. Y eché 80 horas al 2. Entonces, uff, qué va. Parece demasiado. Que aunque tuviese 2 horas todos esos días, ya ves tú, 60 horas. Iría muy justo, tío. Porque a veces no juego, a veces tal. Bah. O yo qué sé. Es mejor dejarlo cuando tenga el Steam y a correr. Ese sí está. Ese creo que es más cortico. Bueno, a ver, también se va a llevar a sus horas, pero bueno. Seguramente igual en la mitad de tiempo, en 40 lo hago. Si dice que el mínimo son 25, no lo sé. Y si no, espero también, no me preocupa, ¿eh? No me preocupa. Sí, 30, 40 más o menos. Yo creo que es lo que tal. Pero es eso, como tengo que mirar, a ver, revisar bien qué juegos hay, porque si no ese, pues igual están igual prefiero jugar a los Wolf, que tampoco los tengo, o sea, el 2 o el, bueno, no sé, los que hay. Yo juego más al primero de los Wolf, no. Igual ese también, alguno de esos también está guay, para cambiar un poco el tercio. No sé, bueno, ya lo veré, tengo que revisar. Bueno, chiques, pues ande con Dios, yo voy a ver qué hay para cenar, que tengo que poner ahí al horno o a la plancha. Venga, Dani. Chao, chao.